and he has a couple of other freeways of choices, but basically we've seen him, this is the first time we've seen him go south. Everything since the beginning has basically just been westbound. When he got on the 605 south, that was the first time we saw him going south. So right now you can see him still picking up a little bit of speed. I hear them talking, and they're throwing around the 70 numbers, and then I'm looking at, you see it now, maybe those were older numbers. He's really starting to pick up some speed down there. You know, reckless driving might definitely start getting into it. We definitely saw it click into the triple digits, 100 miles an hour. California Highway Patrol was calling it about 70, 75, but you can just see how he's passing all those other vehicles. I'm going to go with the Skyfox speedometer and say he's probably probably bumping that 100 mile an hour mark. Yeah. Southbound 65, we're just approaching the 91. That's going to put us Bellflower, Artesia area, right about in there. I was taking a look there. It looks like we are going to be transitioning right there, so we are going to be getting onto the 91. So we'll take a look and see which way he's going to go. It looks like we're going to be favoring the westbound lane. So, and that is where he's been going for the most part. He's been, like I said, it's been everything west, west, west. Maybe he just wants to see the beach one more time before he gets into custody. Trying to blend in with some traffic right there, but it's not really going to work. Trust me. But basically doing what he's been doing, or she. The suspect's been doing the entire time, hanging out in that the center lanes. He's been basically getting as close to that center divider as they can. A number one lane or carpool. Now we're going to be westbound on the Artesia Freeway, otherwise known as the 91, Bellflower area. And the pursuit continues. California Highway Patrol chasing that vehicle. The one thing I got to point out is when he was doing some of those higher speeds and transitioning, I kind of saw the car bouncing just a little bit. That kind of just leads me to believe that, like we said, it's an older vehicle, maybe not gets off the road or he starts making hard turns. You want to see that vehicle working as well as possible. And if it's bouncing around like that, that means it's probably not in good shape, and that's going to create issues, especially on hard turns, and you just don't want to see anybody get hurt. Yep. It's probably a little of all of those. I'm being serious, Marla. But right now he's basically, you know, the higher speeds. Don't know why this is all of a sudden. Possibly maybe starting to run out of fuel. Maybe just getting a little bit more desperate or closer to this person's destination. Right now I can tell you that we're making our way into North Long Beach. We're going to have another freeway. But west has always been kind of the direction this vehicle's been wanting to go. So we're going to be westbound on the 91 freeway. North Long Beach area is where we're at right now. 71 is going to be coming up, but my guess is probably just going to stay on the 91. We've seen these in the past. Maybe this, well, there you go. As soon as you say you think he's going to be doing something, looks like, almost thought he was going to be exiting right there. But we're in the far right lane, so we're going to keep an eye on it, see if he tries to get off the freeway. Maybe this was a destination. Maybe he's trying to bring that vehicle to some location. Right. I know. I'm just looking at the numbers, and up in the hundreds with that big vehicle. Like you said, it started out in the Morongo area. Now we're getting some information that perhaps this vehicle, perhaps we don't have it confirmed, perhaps is registered out here in the Wilmington area. So this might be a destination type of pursuit. This person trying to get back to the neighborhood or back to home, maybe to drop off the car, whatever it may be. But definitely we're understanding that it is registered in the Morongo area. I'm sorry, it's registered in the Wilmington area. Started out in Morongo. Maybe it was just somebody out there enjoying that. Looks like we're going to be taking an off-ramp here. Looks like it was somebody enjoying the, maybe out there at the casino, and something happened, and now trying to get this vehicle back home. It looks like we're going to be getting off on Santa Fe or Santa Fe Artesia. Some hard turns. That's a big old truck, and that's what we were talking about. Making a hard turn right there, coming back around. Now we have traffic. Oh, I don't like this kind of stuff. And I don't know if he had a green light or not. Probably not, but at least it was a right turn. And making his way now southbound on Santa Fe. And this kind of will take us down, if he stays on this, will take us down into the Wilmington area. But he's starting to drive a lot more reckless out there, running through those red lights, and there's a lot of commercial vehicles out here. Very dangerous situation. I can't stress this enough. '80s miles, yeah. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh. Yes, and again, we're just kind of, just really just spitballing out here. We know we got the information about the registration. We know the direction that vehicle is going. They backed off, Vinny. And so Vinny was wondering if the police were still chasing them, and they have backed off. I don't know if they're handing it off to another agency, and or if I'm just looking at it, there's a wide intersection. Oh, and he's really banking it hard right there. This is basically got onto South Alameda. I was wondering if he was going to do that. That's more of a straight shot instead of Santa Fe. But what I was trying to point out is I'm going to try to make sure that the helicopter's still following it, and this basically is a straight shot into Wilmington. I'm still trying to just work. I'm listening on the scanner and looking at, well, they actually switched out at one point, so they had a helicopter with full fuel. But definitely keeping an eye on it right there. 80 miles an hour. Thank goodness the traffic is light. Hopefully he doesn't run any red lights, especially at that speed. Older SUV, Lincoln Navigator, just very, very dangerous. And getting the next major is going to be Sepulveda Boulevard, which is Sepulveda Willow, depending upon what side you're on. And then, of course, it's going to be PCH. But then we're going to be in the Wilmington area. Vinny's doing some great camera work there, trying to get a look inside the car. It does appear that it is just the driver in there, and still we don't know, guy, gal, but all we do know is driving extremely fast and taking some really big chances out here this afternoon. Wilmington. Yep. Ooh. Oh, that was a red light. Definitely, public safety, safety of the suspect. Yes, that's true, and of course officers as well. They do have the helicopter above. It is still tracking this and giving out information. When this comes to an end, I wouldn't be surprised if, or it might already have officers at that location that this vehicle is registered to. I'm just kind of keeping an eye on it. I believe that we're staying on Alameda, and but we're staying on the portion that's not the 47. So the road's going to get a little bit more rough, and then it is definitely taking us into the Wilmington area, starting to make a turn right there. So definitely, this is kind of going to take us out of an industrial area and into a residential area eventually. We're going to keep an eye on it, but look, the streets getting a lot tighter and much smaller. And if this person keeps up with those high speeds, I'm just hoping, continually hoping, that nobody gets hurt. And there's no, that's it, just nobody gets hurt. Right now, this person really just running from themselves. They don't have to be driving this fast. They can just stay at regular speeds, drive at traffic, just follow the traffic rules. But continuing on down there, and now we're like I said, this is, well, hang on, looks like a dead end. So perhaps this person doesn't know this area as well as we thought, backing up there because they saw it was a dead end. Yeah. Aye. Well, you know, it's good. It is really good. You know, I always make jokes that maybe they're listening to us. Hopefully they are, and they just kind of realize that, you know, it's not good. It's always going to end with handcuffs, one way or another. You're going to wind up in handcuffs. Just hopefully nobody gets hurt. And if you start driving at least like California, like a Californian, then you know, at least there's a less chance that somebody's going to get hurt. There's no law enforcement behind him. That doesn't mean law enforcement isn't nearby. Every time he runs a red light like that, you just got to worry about somebody that might be coming the other direction that just doesn't know that this is going on, and who would suspect it? And now there's no lights and sirens. You can see Anaheim Street is a road that we're on. Anaheim, at least a little bit of a bigger road down here in the Wilmington area. Making our way out of it's a lot of industrial out here, but there are more homes as we make our way a little bit more to the west. Again, hopefully this is a destination type of thing, and he's not trying to make his way over to the 110 freeway to get it back onto a freeway. Right now, though, just a lot of traffic out there, a little aggressive driving, and of course, when he's running those red lights, running those stop signs, you just don't want to see anybody get hurt. Can't say it enough. Yeah. Well, the California Highway Patrol basically backed off completely. Now, does LAPD Harbor Division know about this? I'm sure they know about this, and they've been made aware of it. Now the question is are there officers nearby or even at this suspect's, at the address that this vehicle is registered to? That's the question. Also, are they going to engage? Go ahead. Oh, no. Yeah, yeah. And then you just got to start thinking, with those high speeds and that person driving, why? Why would you do that? Especially, you know, you've got children inside that vehicle. Why would you take those chances at all? It's bad enough that you would take the chances with somebody else's lives, but if you have children that clearly are yours, you clearly must know these children. Why would you do something like that? He's down. Go down, 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 down. There he is, right there. And he's continuing on. Clearly, you can see that we're still on Anaheim Street. And Marla, now this just changes everything, having children in there. And then with that information, LAPD knows about this pursuit. They might be just getting their ducks in a row, as it would be, to re-engage or coming up with a plan to bring this to an end with the least amount of danger to anybody involved. Yep. Just cutting through. Why are we doing that? Oh, okay. It's just a gas station. Yeah, just cutting through right there. By the way, that's a legal move, just in case you needed to know. Making a U-turn, that might not be so legal. Making a turn there, probably just wants to stay on Anaheim. Just keeping that vehicle moving as he's making his way. That's going to be the 110 freeway right there. So not getting on the freeway as I pause to see if he actually is. It sounds like we're going to set up for a southbound turn right there. So we'll see if there's an on-ramp right there or if this person's still trying to make his way to a location. So back on we're getting onto the 110 freeway. So I just, that kind of eliminates the, lives in the Wilmington area now that we're getting back onto the, CHP just went by there. Maybe this person's going to, maybe that officer, there's the California Highway Patrol helicopter. So now we're back. Excellent. Yep, there you go. Nice shot, Vinny. It looks like we're getting off. Right. Is this going to take us under the 47 again? Yeah, we just exited once again. I'm just trying to get a feel for where we are. There's actually 2 law enforcement helicopters above this, and it looks like we're going to be getting onto the 47. That's going to be it's going to take us across the Vincent Thomas Bridge. And so we're going to keep an eye on it right there. Hopefully this isn't anything other than just a rerouting type of situation. Everybody's been following along with their cards at home, I'm sure, writing down all our notes because there is a test later. 47 was the freeway they were on, or that throughway that's basically Alameda that they use for the trucking industry out here by the harbor. So back onto the 47, this is going to take us across the Vincent Thomas Bridge and basically back over into that same general area. 2 law enforcement helicopters actually above it. No LAPD at this time, but you do have a sheriff's helicopter keeping an eye on it, and of course the California Highway Patrol helicopter that we saw in some of those shots that Vinny gave us earlier on. It's still driving a little faster than they should be, getting across the Vincent Thomas right there. And again, this is a pursuit. Now we're hearing that there's might be some children inside that vehicle. If they are, they're probably in the back seat. Hopefully they are buckled in and depending on the ages have car seats. But we do know the driver up in the front alone, Vinny gave us a nice clean shot earlier on. We clearly saw just the driver inside that vehicle. Now going across the bridge, at least driving normal speeds out here. And this will take you back down, but when we get back down on the other side, it's very, very industrial. This is an area of the port where it's basically just freight. A lot of vehicles, just trucks moving freight around. So hopefully there won't be any higher speeds again or any kind of crazy driving, but you just got to wonder, where's this person going? What's the plan? Because we're going to follow along till it comes to an end. Yeah. Following. Well, the following, it's really interesting, and we have actually seen it work in the past, and I have to really emphasize that this isn't an idea that basically the law enforcement on the ground will back off. Basically, they'll get all the black and whites, the cars that are chasing the suspect, they basically just back off, and then what happens is the driver, hopefully, will see that there's no tension, there's no pressure for that driver, for that suspect. So they will drive a little bit slower, maybe have this feeling that okay, I'm going to be able to get away with this. And it's a good plan. And then they'll keep an eye on it from the air. And sometimes they even don't do that. There's a Homeland Security, that's also Port Police that I just passed right there. But it is actually a really good idea. And sometimes they will just get that address. When we've seen that in the past, especially recently, where they'll just realize, like, okay, that is the registered owner. Somehow they know that that is a registered owner, and they'll just let it go. And they'll basically door knock this person, show up at their house or take them into custody at a later time, or maybe even when they go to the DMV to try to get their license, they'll say, law enforcement wants to talk to you. So those tactics really do work, and you can kind of see it right now that there are no black and whites behind them, and the car driving 70 miles an hour, but I believe that, I can't guarantee it, but I would almost think that the speeds down there might be 65, definitely 55, because of the big rigs. Yep. Definitely out of safety. It always is law enforcement or all the first responders biggest. That is what they're all about. Safety of the public, safety of the suspect, safety of other law enforcement officers or first responders. That's what it's always all about. Vinny getting the wide shot right there, showing that we're going over the new bridge out here. I don't know if they've actually. The Gerald Desmond Bridge, that's General Gerald Desmond, and you can see that right there. So basically making our way out of the port area into the Long Beach area. That's going to be the next stop. I can't see Long Beach PD getting involved in this or basically having a different tactic than what California Highway Patrol has right now. It's just really strange to watch this just kind of unfold, knowing that there may be children back there. If there aren't, even then, why is this person just continue just to drive around randomly? No law enforcement behind them. I'm sure maybe they know, maybe they're on the phone, they're getting messages like, hey, all the media is still following you. But if that's the case, somebody should be telling this person, look, just pull over. Just pull over, just get out, just bring this to an end before somebody gets hurt. Yes. 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 Hopefully it's not. Well, I can tell you now we're northbound 710 freeway. Speeds, you can see them a little bit slower. A lot of traffic out there. California Highway Patrol helicopter still above it. Sheriff's Department still in the area keeping an eye on it. Law enforcement on the ground aware of the situation. If this vehicle gets off the freeway and then basically gets back, I got to work with Vinny for a second right now. Hang on, he stayed on the freeway. California, there's some black and whites coming up behind him. He's going to get back. They're going to start chasing him here in a second. And I'm trying to see. Okay, he's way up the freeway, passing a green, look for the green semi. Keep going. Oh, you're too far. Slow down. I'm sorry. Northbound 710. Number 2 lane, Vinny. Number 2 lane. And he's got to be right with us right now. Where is he? I'm looking. He's number 2 lane. Okay. Yellow dump truck. Go wide. Okay, you're too far. Back. Stop. A little to the right. Look for the yellow dump truck. Okay, he's ahead of the yellow dump truck. Keep going. You can't miss him. Keep going. Nope. Go. Yep. Right there. That's him. There he is. Right there. Corner of the screen. Sorry. And I'm sure my social media is going to explode about me barking out orders. I'm sorry. If Vinny's actually in the back saying he's appreciating all the help. So at any rate, there we go. So anyway, back on the freeway, northbound 710, and you can see speeds about normal. But we also, because of all of that, thank goodness, we actually saw that law enforcement definitely in the area, California Highway Patrol, getting their ducks back in a row. They might really initiate this as a pursuit again, meaning lights and sirens. The only plus for that really would be right now for all the people on the ground, at least they would hear the lights and the sirens at least, and have an idea that something is coming their way. As far as the kids inside the vehicle, I wish we could get solid confirmation about that. I'm still very hopeful that it is just the driver. Why would anybody take those type of chances with their children or any children inside that vehicle? Looks like he's getting over to the far over to the right, so that means possibly an off-ramp. We'll keep an eye on it. We'll give you this off-ramp in just a second if he does get on an off-ramp or a freeway. Yep. It is going to be a transition road probably to the 405 freeway. I can't guarantee it as of yet, or maybe not. We'll keep an eye on it right there. It looks like underneath the bridge, just go wide, see where he pops out on the other side. There he goes. It looks like he's staying. 405 transition, right side of the screen. There he is. So that's the 405 transition. It looks like 405 northbound, which is going to be a first. And we'll keep an eye on where he's going, but staying, the speeds at least have slowed down there. But earlier on, we saw him taking those sharp turns at well over freeway speeds. A bigger vehicle like that, you just worry. And right now, it's going to be northbound on the 405 freeway. So we're going to be leaving the Lakewood area here and making our way out towards the airport. I mean, the airport's quite a distance up, but that's our general direction. Not that far. Yep. Oh, definitely some close calls. Running a lot of red lights out there. Basically, almost every intersection that vehicle came to didn't slow. It slowed down a little bit. Let's be real about it. But basically, if it was red, ran right through it. Did actually some maneuvers to get around things. Here we go again, picking up those speeds, really high speeds, changing lanes very quickly. This is definitely, you know, you don't want to see it with just the suspect in there. Now we're hearing children. This is really, really bad. As we can make our way northbound, the law enforcement sometimes will get a pass to cross through the LAX airspace, basically following the freeway. Skyfox, we don't have those type of blessings. We're going to have to actually veer way off. So it's going to be one of those long shots. We're going to keep an eye on it best we can. That all being said, he has a lot of choices, or the suspect has a lot of choices up here. You got the northbound 110 freeway coming up, so perhaps we'll take that freeway going north. But again, the pursuit continuing out here. Carson is the area that we're at. We're going to be on the northbound 405 freeway coming up onto the 110 right now. California Highway Patrol, they're chasing this vehicle all the way from Morongo for some sort of license plate registration issues on this vehicle. They stayed with it for a long time. We've kept an eye on it. We got information. The car is registered out of Wilmington. We thought that's where they were going. We were in Wilmington. We drove around Wilmington. And then, Marla, you getting the information from our awesome desk people, there might be children inside this car. I didn't hear that, but you know, this is just adds to all the tension. You're just wondering, what is this person doing? The speeds, they're just a little faster than freeway. It does seem like he's kind of leaning over to, well, he's staying in the center. So we'll keep an eye on it, see if he takes the 110. That's going to be the next big decision out here. Of course, there's plenty of off-ramps, but looks like northbound 405 is the general direction. And, you know, we'll see. Maybe he might even do the south of 110. Will it take us back into that San Pedro area? That'll bring us right by Wilmington once again. But it looks like right now, I'm putting money on it, we're going to be staying northbound 405. Well, we've watched this vehicle do some, you know, unusual stunts, but all very dangerous. And to hear that there might be children in the back of that vehicle just makes it just mind-boggling. Why would anybody take those chances alone by yourself? But now you're endangering two children, as we understand it. The only thing I can say about that is we don't know their ages. We're hoping that if they need to be, they're in a child seat and everything is secured inside that vehicle. Speeds right now about 80 miles an hour, northbound 405 freeway. We're going to be getting... I'm sorry, we're getting into the Torrance area right now. The speeds have really kind of just normaled out, and that's a lot of why the California Highway Patrol do the tactics that they do. They will basically just kind of back off. They won't let the driver, the suspect, see the flashing reds and blues and the black and whites right behind him, hopefully to calm that person down. In this case, it might have worked, it might not have worked. We'll see the vehicle slow down and speed up. You just got to wonder, though, this truck probably has got to have had at least a full tank of gas when this whole thing started. We're continuing now northbound on the 405 freeway. Our concern up here in Skyfox, not that it's the viewer's concern by any means, but is that we're getting very, very close to LAX. Fulvio, our pilot's going to have to do some coordination. They're going to make us basically climb to about 2,000 feet and then cross over LAX, which is at the center. So we're going to be quite a distance away. Vinny will not lose it, I can guarantee it, and we'll keep an eye on this pursuit as it moves along. Hopefully he does not take an off-ramp. Now, as far as law enforcement helicopters goes, the California Highway Patrol, and I don't know if the Sheriff's Department has stayed with it, but as far as they're concerned, they might get a pass depending on traffic, meaning the other aircraft that are landing right now, the commercial jets. Or they might actually have to do it with us. It's that type of deal. Right now, he's really hanging on to that right side, so I'm wondering if he's thinking about getting off the freeway right here. Looks like Artesia Boulevard is the next off-ramp, but if he does, or she does, that street seems to be a little bit busier today, so it's going to make for an interesting chase for sure. Nope, no Artesia. What do we got for fuel? Like an hour? We got about an hour, maybe a little more. Okay, we're getting off. We're getting off Inglewood, getting off the freeway. Yeah, we're getting off here just inside of Lawndale. I've got some cousins in Lawndale. We're getting off here at Inglewood Boulevard. They actually stopped for the stoplight, which is just such a relief. Maybe this driver is starting to at least calm down, as it would be, maybe thinking like, okay, maybe law enforcement is not right behind us right now. Waiting for the light right there. I know Bobby's joining us. I kind of want to take. I like a new, fresh take on it, Marla. It's awesome the information you came up with, but Bobby's there. I'm just kind of wondering, what is your take just watching this before you got here? What are they doing? Just stay wide. Oh, he's just making a left turn, Vinny. He's making a left turn. He's going to come up the top here. There he is. There he is. Yeah. Push in. I want to make sure that's the same car. That is it. Is that it? That's it. I don't know. I don't think that's it, Vinny. Sorry, Bobby. We're working right now. I'm not sure if that is the actual vehicle right there. I'm just kind of wondering that we saw this. We saw it make its way in and out of there. I don't remember that full roof rack like that, but it does appear to be the same vehicle. I'm not 100% on that at all. Looks like I'm going to wait and see if we get some information on the scanner if they're calling it back on the northbound 405 freeway. If they did, then that is the vehicle. If they didn't, he's still on Inglewood. Looked like they made a left turn right there, but We're going to keep an eye on this one for sure. Yeah, that's definitely the vehicle. That's definitely. Sorry about that, Bobby. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. No black. Yep. But yeah. Yep. Well, the helicopters are still here. There, there's the helicopters are still there. They're definitely California Highway Patrol. Their helicopters still above, keeping an eye on where this vehicle is, and relaying that information back and forth. You're right. There are absolutely no black and whites behind this vehicle. When we say black and whites, we're talking about the police cars. There are no police cars behind this vehicle right now, so there's no lights and sirens. There is no reason for that driver to drive excessively fast, and that is one of the reasons why they use that tactic. They basically say, hey, we're going to back off, and so that driver will feel a little bit more relaxed, might not have that sense of urgency, might not have that panicked adrenaline rush like I'm being chased, and will basically calm down. That tactic has worked in the past. We've seen it work in the past. In this case right now, this is the first time, Bobby, you know what, maybe it's your energy. Maybe it's your aura, because this is the first time we've actually seen this vehicle really drive less than the speed limit out here in any situation. So right now, northbound 405 freeway, just about 60 miles an hour. Basically, just as soon as I said that, you can see that vehicle really starting to pick up some speed again. The kids in the back, the kids not in the back, that really just adds to the confusion of the situation. And if there actually are, it just makes you wonder what that driver could possibly be thinking. I always really have an issue, not an issue, but it makes it more difficult to call a pursuit like this, or even tell a story when you don't have a fact and we just have a maybe. Maybe there's kids in the back. So we just, go ahead, Bobby. Yep. What are we taking? The 110? 110. Yeah. Oh, maybe we're getting off. 110? South 110. Bobby, sorry about that. We're just making a turn now. We're going to be southbound 110 freeway. That was that quick reaction that car made right there, basically just kind of going across the gore point. And now we are going to be southbound on the 110 freeway, taking us back towards Wilmington. And that's the general area where they said that vehicle is registered to. Clearly, we don't have an actual address or anything like that, but we did see the truck driving through the Wilmington area, through the industrial part of it at least. And basically, really, we saw it. That driver did not know where they were going, basically put himself into a dead end and then had to back up. Now, as far as law enforcement and following and all that, right now I can tell you that this person is basically just running from themselves. Do they know the helicopter's following them? Well, I've been asked that a bunch of times in the past, and my answer is always, if you're driving along on the freeway, how many times have you said, oh, I can hear a helicopter? And that's the same thing. You just don't. So unless this driver is actually physically looking out the window, this car, no sunroof, he might not, or she might not really even know that there's any law enforcement at all following them. In this case, though, the way the world is today, if that person has a phone, which I would guess they do, somebody somewhere is saying, hey, Sky Fox is following you. And so that might be going on. But other than that, you know, hopefully if that communication, the way I look at it is if that communication is taking place, hopefully there's some logic being thrown in there as well. Like, hey, you know what? You got kids in the back seat. What are you doing? Just pull over. Think about the children. Think about yourself. You just bring this to an end. Who knows? Who knows? That's what we never really do know. All we know is that we're going to follow this till this car stops, and then we'll see what happens after that. Hopefully it won't stop in any kind of violent way, and hopefully, you know, that if there are children in the back seat of that vehicle, it just pulls over. And really, my hope is that there aren't any children in there. That it would just, because you just got to think, what is this driver doing, and why take all these chances over a registration? You know, clearly might have been in the Morongo area. Maybe this is a gambler. You know, who knows? And you know, basically he's just gambling right now, thinking, you know what? There's always this odds I might get away, even though we know, we've watched, we've seen it. It is very, very unlikely that this driver is going to escape some handcuffs. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. True. Runs out of gas, those are usually, unless it turns into some kind of long, drawn-out standoff, runs out of gas are usually some of the best ones, because then nobody gets hurt. That vehicle just gives up before the driver does, and that's usually, we've seen that happen many times in the past. Looks like we're starting to get over again. Looks like we're going to be getting back off the freeway, and oddly enough, we're back in the Wilmington area, and so maybe this vehicle going to make its way over to an area that the driver knows, perhaps even home. But right now we're getting off the freeway. Looks like it's going to be the Pacific Coast Highway, which is also, I think, no, it's not Sepulveda out here, but getting off at Pacific Coast Highway off the 110 freeway, making that turn, heading, that's going to be eastbound, bringing us back into the Wilmington area. So we're going to keep an eye on it, and we'll see. Maybe LAPD is going to get behind it. Maybe. Or maybe this person's just going to stop underneath the bridge there. Or not. There they are. There we go, Bobby. So we're rolling back out onto California Highway Patrol, on the PCH, and it looks like we're just going to be, or is this nope, no, I was wondering, thinking we're getting back onto the freeway, but we are not. So maybe this is the area where it's registered to, because this is very residential out here. Neighborhood. Wow. Well, definitely well over an hour, so that driver might, you know, might even be starting to get a little fatigued driving at those high speeds. A lot of adrenaline, being stressed out. You know, so maybe this is one of the reasons why we're seeing this much slower driving. Also, it does seem like there's some people on the side of the road down there talking, you know, maybe trying to get the driver's attention. There's somebody running across the street. Yeah, we're going to take a look and see if this person gets in or gets those kids out. There we go. There we go. There we go. Oh, they're like teenagers. Are you kidding me? There we go. There's some law enforcement. Go a little wider. Go a little wider. Go a little. There you go. And that's kind of what I was saying the entire time. As soon as that vehicle comes to a stop, those cars that are not there will suddenly appear, and there they are. That vehicle is basically blocked right now. It looks like some family members came and got kids. These are babies. What is this person doing? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. But now it's a little bit different. Now it's look, and this is the thing. There we go. This guy trying to back, still trying to get away from law enforcement. There we go. That's a genuine person right there. Trying to make a run there, just running along, and we're gonna. My money's on the officer that just threw whatever he threw away. Oh, that's what I get for putting my money on the officer. There we go. Keeps going, keeps going. I can tell you that there's more law enforcement in cars close by, and Vinny's doing a fantastic job keeping an eye on this guy. He probably should have taken the stairs, but you can just see keeping it going there. 8 miles an hour, 9 miles an hour, making his way into the alleyway, and we'll see where the law enforcement is here in just a moment. Nope, he's up on the stairs. He's up on the stairs. Nope, no, he's right there. He's coming back the other way. Maybe he's going to go see if that officer's okay. That would be really nice if he did something like that. Well, here he goes. There we go. There we go. These officers are going. Boom. There we go. Took him right there. Oh, and they brought the dog. So anyway, there we go. It's all coming to an end off of Denny Street out here in the Wilmington area. I still can't tell you. Well, all we know is that suspect is in custody. We did see the small children being taken out of the back of that SUV, which just, mind-boggling, just mind-boggling. And of course, yeah. Yes, look, right. A car carrier, yeah. 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 Look, video. Yeah. You know, I just want to add this one little thing in there because we're going to be wrapping this up, I'm sure. I'm just hoping that that officer, I mean, he was running at a pretty good clip, and he did get caught on something on that tree, and it basically looked like he broke that small tree, so that was a hard fall. So my concern is that that officer is not badly injured. Right there, those are family members that are giving law enforcement a hard time about taking this person into custody, and, you know, it makes you wonder, did they not see this pursuit 100 miles an hour with your children in the back seat of that vehicle? It is just, these type of situations are usually the toughest for law enforcement, and to have the family members right there trying to get to their family member that's going into custody, this is always very volatile. And you got to think too, these law enforcement guys, they're amped up also. They're full of adrenaline. They just were running. That one officer took a hard tumble, and they had to take this person into custody and now control the situation. Very difficult for them indeed. And that one family member just continuing to be defiant and trying to get closer to that to the suspect, who's probably somehow related to that person. Hey, Brian. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry about that. I'm not sure if we're supposed to do that right now, but we're going. I know the noon hour is coming up, and Fox at noon is going to be starting, and we're going to start talking about this pursuit we just saw just now. There we go. And well, Marley, Bobby, you know, it was a following. It was definitely a pursuit at some times as well, but it was very reckless, and there were two small children in the back of that vehicle, and that driver taking large risks, 100 miles an hour at some point, changing lanes erratically, hard turns back and forth.